Coming to you live and direct from Bogota. We're going to talk about the road to my first 30K month. Little quarter 4 2025 update. Got a Word doc. Let's rip it. Let's rock. Let's roll. So during my time here, I had I had a little scare here. I had two Instagram restrictions within 2 days of each other. I know exactly why. I'm here in a different country than where my Instagram account usually is. I've got a VA in the Philippines. Of course, I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do VPNs and all that stuff. So I started signing into my Instagram here in Colombia. My VA's in the Philippines. My account's usually in the US. Instagram flagged me twice in 2 days. It scared the bejesus out of me. And I was like, okay, no bueno. So, but essentially, my VA just sends the initial opening messages to new followers, and she does some follow ups as well. Okay, so no issues there. Like she's been working fine as I've been in the US, she's been in the Philippines. It's not that. It's really because I've been in a different place and I didn't do the whole VPN. The restriction only lasted like a couple hours, but as you can imagine, with me growing a following to whatever 38,000 followers, I've used it for 12 years. There's so much social proof, so much content behind it. It really scared me realizing, damn, like I might get this whole thing shut down just for being stupid. So the realization I had was like, one thing I'm not doing is I'm not actively growing my email list. Even though my current ad strategy and my funnel is super profitable, which is running ads to get followers, DMing those followers, qualifying them in the DMs, booking calls, closing calls, a little bit of retargeting as well, which we'll get into. But my whole overall funnel works really well and it's profitable, but how scalable is it really? So what I realized is I'll probably need to add an additional ad strategy and a different funnel to get to 1 million a year. And here's what I mean. So like right now I only run follow ads basically and some retargeting. But the two types of ads, or one of these two, I'm definitely going to have to do. Number one is DM ads, which basically leads would DM me a keyword rather than just following my page and having my VA outbound DM them. So it's a DM ad. Okay. The other kind is a VSL funnel, which is in the online world. Anything you're doing high ticket, most people they do a VSL funnel, especially the ones who do north of 100,000 a month. They're doing VSL funnels. So what that means is you're running an ad essentially to a landing page or like a website. And on that website, you're going to collect name, email, phone. The next page has a free training. And the free training is a video sales letter, basically explaining what you do and getting somebody to want to actually speak with you about coaching. And there should be some value in the video as well, like belief shifting. But below that video is a button to book a call on my calendar. And then followed by that would be like an application with financial qualifiers. So the VSL funnel is a bit hefty. There's more steps to it. You're running ads off of Instagram, which you're going to get lower conversions just because you're getting people off Instagram. So everything's a bit more expensive with a VSL funnel, but it is it's a lot more automated. You're not having to DM people, but to make VSL funnels work, you're probably going to need to get your copy on the website down, like down pat. I got a buddy of mine who does a VSL funnel and he gets about a 4x return, which is great. But he has an appointment setter who actually outbound. I don't think he calls them, but he outbound texts them. So it's like there's still like a lot of work to be done to make VSL funnels work. But they're extremely reliable and they are scalable, but they are a lot to set up. So that's kind of my realization. Now here's what's working for me. So yeah, let me zoom in on this too, make it a little better to read it. So what's definitely working is like ads. My ads are working. I've got follower ads right now. About 80% of my ad spend is allocated to top of funnel follow ads that have already made me money. At this point since April, so April, May, June, July, August, September, it's about 6.5 months I've been running this new business, Music Money Mastery, where I help music producers make six figures like I did. I've tested, I don't even know how many ads I've tested. I'm going to go north of 15 different video ads. So I know which ads have worked. Like I've had ads work. I've had ads that don't because I've tested so much. So 80% of my ad spend is allocated to top of funnel, which means people who have never seen me before. So I'm sending videos to people who've never seen me. So 80% of my budget goes to that. 20% of my budget goes to retargeting. Again, I've got 38,000 followers. I've spent just this year, I've spent like 13K on ads, which is very low for me. But like overall, I've spent somewhere north of 100,000 on ads in the last 2 years. So I've got a pretty sizable retargeting audience. So 20% of it is allocated to retargeting ads that have also made me money. Like I've gotten clients from retargeting ads from spending $5-10 a day. That's a big deal. So both those work. Um, Retargeting is people who've interacted with my profile and messaged me in the past 90 days and all my followers. It's very recent, right? Here's what the total numbers have been from April to October. Cash collected's been about 62K, ad spend's about 13K ish. Total ROAS about 4.5x. Not bad. It's pretty solid. Here's what else is working. Um, my post booking video. This is big. So basically, after someone books a call with me, so like they follow me, I DM them, book calls, and between them booking the call and taking the call, that little window of time, I'm sending them emails, text reminders, nurturing emails. I'm also having them watch this video. I call it the post booking video. So, and it's basically me explaining my offer, my story, client results, and the actual price to work with me. So I'm literally telling someone before they get on a call with me, this is how much this is going to cost. Here's the cost. Here's the financing options if you want to try to use a buy now, pay later like Klarna. Here's payment plans. Like I give them everything. Like I don't want anybody coming to a call not knowing. It makes sales way easier if they confirm that they watched the video. Just sending a video doesn't mean enough because someone comes to a call, they haven't watched the video. That means that they're probably not a very good prospect. So I need to make sure that they have told me, hey, I watched the video. So at the end of the video, after the price, I'm like, yo, send me a DM with the word done so I know you watched the video. And I hit them up in Instagram being like, the night before, if they haven't already told me they've watched it, the night before, the day of, morning of, I'll be like, hey, John, just confirming our call today. By the way, haven't gotten any confirmation that you've watched the video. If I don't get confirmation from you within at least an hour before the call, I'm just going to cancel. And then I look an hour before the call. Have they hit me up? If they haven't, I just cancel the call. I just got a free hour in my day. It's not a no-show. Got it? Now, if they come to the call, if they in the DMs have been like, yep, I watched the whole video, looking forward to speaking with you, and they know the price, it's like that's basically a close. I'm excited, right? So I'm not tripping about it. I've even had people hit me up in the DMs and be like, hey man, watch the video. I want to work with you. I'm just a little worried about the investment. Things are a little tight for me right now. And I just want to make sure that we can figure something out. Dude, I'm always super chill with people. And I'm like, no worries. Let's get on the call and see what's up. Worst case, I just give you as much value as I can. And I try to serve and support you. Every time someone's hit me with that though, I close them. And they usually turn out to be a really great client. So this post booking video where I actually have a price in it works. And dude, how many post booking videos have I done? I'll go out and say again 15, probably 20 different post booking videos. Let's go with 15 without the price. I always love doing the price. Always. I've done the price reveal at lower and higher prices. Like I've done price reveals at 3K and 5K. 3K works, 5K doesn't. I've also done no price reveal 5K, and sales are kind of hard sometimes. So, point being, I'd rather sales just be super easy at 3K than super hard at 5. And so it's just kind of, it just kind of depends. Just kind of depends what you want to do. So those are all things to consider. All right. The next thing is called low ticket workshops. This is brand new. Okay. Just something brand new I just started doing. I did it in September. I felt like it worked awesome. Why? Here's exactly what happened. So I ran my first one called 1K in 7 days DM Blueprints, which is all about DMing, teaching you how to DM artists properly to actually get clients. I sold tickets for $50. I sold 5 tickets for $250, which is not a lot. However, I ascended one of those people to like a lower tier of my program for 1.2K. Basically, I sold him a really still a great offer, group only, text access to me, can come to the community, just not including the done. Like I have like done for you elements, done with you elements, like a lot of like, I'm doing heavy lifting for you. But that client just didn't quite have the budget, and I didn't want to leave them high and dry with nothing. So I was like, dude, let me just customize something for where you're at so I can still give you a high level of help and get you further along. Right. So it was still like providing value, just customizing something for him. For 1.2K, there was no sales call required for that. And it was cool. And like the client is freaking dope. I love working with him. Spent $0 on ads, which was great. I promoted this fully organically, um, just making posts and DMing people. It was pretty cool. So I'm like, dude, this was to me, for my first time ever doing it, I was like, dude, super successful, definitely something I can build on. Um, However, back to one of my realizations, if I had a larger email list, if I was actually actively growing a list and emailing that list, I could have sold way more tickets. So something to consider. The next thing that I know is working is content. Like, dude, I've been posting I mean, I'm in Colombia now and I haven't barely posted that much. But before that, I was posting 1 to 3 times per day on Instagram. And we're not talking stories I was posting every day as well, but we're talking reels, text carousel, 7-second B-rolls, photos, all that type shit. 1 to 3 times a day easily on Instagram, easily. And then 2 times a week on YouTube. I will say, I didn't put this in here, but I will say, I don't personally think, like, I really do believe this, but I don't think that my business would have dramatically changed if I posted less on Instagram. Like, I don't think so. I think if I posted, instead of posting 7 days a week, I posted 5 or 3 times a week on Instagram. I genuinely don't think that would have made that big a difference. I don't know. And even on YouTube, the 2 times a week rather than 1 times a week, like little things like that, I don't think that would have changed it. I'm going to continue doing 1 to 3 times a day on Instagram though. Why? Because all it's doing is I'm just testing, which is great. And I know when something's going to pop and I'm just going to get to it faster. When a piece of organic content does somewhat well and it has a good call to action in it, that's huge because I can run that as a retargeting ad. It's also just going to get me traffic. Like, dude, all these people who came from this low ticket workshop cost me $0 to do the whole thing. No tech setup, so easy. Didn't get on sales calls to sell any of these $50 tickets. Like, it was super easy to do it. And it was because I was just posting a lot of content. It was just posting content and some DMs. That's it. Really simple. I think I sold 2 or 3 of the tickets from stories or content. Pretty cool. All right. So next moves for me, basically just scale ad spend. That's 100%. But allocate a percentage to growing my email list. And I'll say this too: the way I'm going to do it is right now I run, like I said, a top of funnel follow ad, which is just like go to my profile and follow me, and then I'll close clients from that. But I also have a retargeting ad that is, hey, send me a DM with the word blueprint, and I'll send you over a free asset, which is a video for me. That video, like the way I do it in the DMs, I'm like, hey, is it cool if I just send you the video here in the DMs? And they're like, yeah, sure. I got to stop doing that. What I need to be doing is saying, hey, I'll send you over the video. What's your best email? And collect their emails and then also send it to them in the DMs and then also have a conversation with them. That's what I need to do. I need to implement that so I can grow an email list. It's super important that I do that. And then on the back end, have like a 5-day email sequence pre-written or something to try to get them to book a call with me. That's a no-brainer. I got to start doing that. The next one's harder financial qualifiers. Basically, adding 2 financial qualifying questions in Calendly before someone can book a call with me. Even with me telling the price before the call, I still get on calls with people who barely have $100 to their names and no access to credit. I know it's wild, but it happens. It's crazy. I also, next move for me for sure is putting less effort into scripting content. I need to put in less effort because I've kind of been using a little too much Chat GPT. And recently, I had tried just like raw, unscripted selfie videos, and they seem to work really well. So I'm going to be doing mostly those and a lot of black background, white letter text carousels. Like those work super, super well for me. And also I'm just going to continue doing those low ticket workshops once a month. That's pretty much it. I think the main thing though, like I would say these are the two main things right here: is scaling ad spend and harder financial qualifiers, especially the scaling the ad spend part. Because this year alone, I've got a 4.5x return on ads. And over the lifetime of the last 2.5 years, or wait, yeah, 2.5 years, I'm a 3x return. Like I've spent 100 grand and made 300 grand back. So like I've never lost money on ads. Maybe a month here and there, I've broke even, but like I've really much like I never lose money on ads. I need to just spend more money. And so what I would do if I were you is I would take inventory of where you're currently at in your music business and figure out like what is it that you need to do to get to that next step. And a lot of the time, like if you're at that 5, 6K a month mark with music and you need to get to that 10K a month mark, and the reason you haven't gotten there, it's probably because you don't have a system in place to, first of all, get leads on autopilot. Like that's the first thing. Are you getting attention on autopilot, or do you constantly need to meet people and go to networking events and everything's through referrals, or you're just posting content? Like that shit's not going to work. So you need an automated way to get people to see your face, like I do and like my clients have with paid ads. Okay, that's the first. If you're running ads but like you don't convert people, but it means you need a way to actually be able to get in touch with them, nurture them, and be able to book an appointment to talk to them. That's the funny thing. A lot of producers, and this might hit with you, suck at sales, right? And I think one of the main things a lot of producers are just sitting here wanting to make music, which is great. I love making music too, but you're just thinking and expecting fucking people to just be walking up to you, throwing money at you, but you don't do any marketing, you don't run ads, you suck at sales, and you just want your streaming numbers and the people you've worked with alone to prove that people should just throw thousands of dollars at you. That's fucking stupid. Sorry if it's true for you, like sorry, but that is dumb as fuck. You need to be able to have a marketing system in place at every single step. If you don't have that, I mean, that's why I exist. That's why Music Money Mastery exists, and that's why my, premium producer partnership is existing, right? And so if it's something you're interested in, click the link in the description. You can go watch a video that explains everything about what I do. And you can send me a DM to get more information about that. All right. Awesome. I'm about to go finish up some laundry. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.